This is an update now of an incident that began around 9:30 this morning when a anonymous 911 call was made to New Haven Police indicating that the caller's roommate was en route to the campus, the Yale University campus, to shoot people. The update that we have right now is that things are pretty status quo as far as our investigation is concerned, that SWAT officers and police officers from many different agencies, mainly New Haven Police and Yale University Police, supplemented with federal agencies, FBI, BATF, as well as the Connecticut State Police, are still conducting checks of buildings in and around the Yale University campus. One of the things that we need to correct is that there are still a number of students who remain on campus. Although school is shut down for the holidays, some students have not yet left the dormitories and resident colleges in the area. When the email blast went out from the University Police Department indicating that there was potentially a problem or cause for concern on campus regarding a gunman, that email has prompted many students and some faculty to remain locked inside their rooms, offices, and dormitories. So one of the challenges that the police department is now having is how to check those rooms because people are quite often not believing that it's the police at their door. The doors do not have peepholes, which is now something that the University Police Department is working on, how to actually gain access into those rooms which are locked by those students and faculty remaining on campus. So, using an abundance of caution, we're still going ahead with those searches, ground basement to roof. We have had some reports, again, we think prompted by the hypersensitivity of this issue, from people on campus saying that they're seeing somebody on a roof, that they're seeing somebody with a rifle or a long gun walking around. We have been able now, I'm not going to say that we aren't dealing with credible witnesses as we had before, but we do believe now that there is certainly the possibility that some of those witnesses saw people with long guns that very well may have been law enforcement personnel responding to the initial call. All right. Again, we're not doubting the credibility of some of the witnesses. We're just investigating, those reports. All right. So, that's cautionary. We have had reports of people on roofs. We have found one person who was up on a roof on George Street smoking a cigarette, kind of watching everything that was going on. So a lot of it does take some time to go through each of these reports to police about people on rooftops, people in alleys, people with guns. And if people calling us do see people with a long gun and they see that from a distance, they may not recognize that that person's law enforcement. So we have been able to certainly not discredit, but certainly, confirm in many cases that reported people with rifles or long guns were in fact law enforcement personnel who had responded to the area.
If there are people in their dorms, in their offices, and they're locked down, what do you tell those folks? Should they stay or should they go?
Well, we want people to stay safe. And we'd rather they stay in their rooms. They've been ordered to do so. And we're not going to let everybody, at a press conference like this know the measures that have been now developed to assure people who are locked inside a room or their dormitory that it is in fact law enforcement on the other side of the door. But there is a process now that they have developed to let the folks know with certainty that it is in fact law enforcement on the outside of the door.
As far as the original two witnesses you talked about at the earlier press conference that said they saw someone with a long gun, are you saying that those witnesses might have confused law enforcement? Or?
It's certainly possible. Certainly possible. Again, we're we're not taking anything for chance, and we'll continue to investigate each one of these things. But, as I said, I don't know how many people, how many witnesses had been talked to originally, because things are going on in very many areas of the downtown, the streets and buildings downtown. So we have established that at least one, if not more, of those reports probably, with all probability, that the witness had seen a law enforcement person rather than someone randomly with a gun.
Do you have anyone in custody at this point or not?
There is no one in custody at this point.
At what point do you give the all clear? What needs to happen for you to do that?
Well, we won't give an all clear until we're certain it's all clear. And I don't know exactly how long that's going to take. We're probably talking hours, if not more.
Does that mean you have to go through every building?
Yes. There is a systematic search. Yale University comprises many different resident colleges. We're focusing on the old campus right now, but that doesn't mean that focus, that it ends there.
Any progress on the 911 call? Person that made the call?
To my knowledge, no. The information we had, again, it came from a payphone, a public phone, so tracing it back is not going to identify a person.
You mentioned the fact that there are still a number of students on campus, but can you talk about how exaggerated this might be if Yale were in full session right now?
If Yale were in full session right now, this would certainly be a tougher job for law enforcement.
As the hours go on and as the investigation continues, how wide does the scope get?
It gets as wide as it has to get for us to assure that things are safe. If I can use some weird analogy here, some flashlights, when the batteries start to die, they dim and dim and dim to nothing. We don't do that with this type of investigation. This is a full-bore investigation, and at such time that the investigation is over, that's when that light will go out.
So as far as the likelihood that somebody might be on campus with a long gun, what would you say on that?
I wouldn't dare, question the credibility. That would be questioning the credibility of a witness, and I just don't have that information now. We will continue to update you, hopefully at least every hour, if not sooner, as this progresses.
What other areas are in lockdown?
I am not certain about any of the public schools. We do have a public school in the downtown area, but I'm not certain if there's anything. The library is locked down. The New Haven Free Public Library on Elm Street is locked down and closed. I do not have information on Gateway being locked down or closed.
Co-op, we don't know if that's closed.
They are closed.
Co-op is closed.
Yes.
Based on the prevalence of cell phones these days, the fact that this call came in on a payphone, does that make you suspicious about the call in any way?
We're suspicious of any calls, especially to this regard, and that's what we have to investigate. But that doesn't mean we're going to minimize, that it may be a legitimate call.
Can you say what areas, what streets are blocked off for people who have to get in and around New Haven? Obviously, if you can avoid it.
Any major artery coming into downtown needs to be avoided. Any major artery. We have had the cooperation of some of the businesses on Chapel Street, especially Chapel between College Street and High Street, that have volunteered to close their business. They'd be closed theoretically anyway because there's no pedestrian traffic allowed there or vehicle traffic. But New Haven has some narrow streets, some one-way streets, and we really want people to avoid coming down here. If it's not necessary to come down to the area, don't.
David, you say that there are still some students on campus. Can you give us any kind of estimate of how many students and employees?
The information I got from Yale University Police Department was that a number of students have been leaving daily for the past few days to return home for the holidays. I don't have a number. I don't think that's possible to get a number.
So you're saying
Josh.
at this point, just to confirm, you're still searching for someone?
Right.
Two people, just one person?
Again, we don't have a suspect, so there's been nothing tangible regarding it's this person who's going to do this. It was an anonymous call. The call was cut off by the caller. You know, they were asked to stay on the line. They did not stay on the line. They hung up the phone. You know, so.
I see Yale's spokesperson here. Does Tom want to say anything and update from the Yale's?
Tom, do you have anything to add from the university?
I'll defer to David about anything about the investigation. He's right about I don't have a set number of students. I do believe perhaps that.
Can you start?
Do you want to come over here,
I
Tom?
do believe that the 911 call came in, what I heard was 9:48 a.m. I don't know if that would probably be the right time, specifically, as opposed to.
I haven't had a specific time.
Right. As David said, the college is closed this week. Most of the students are gone. I'll try to get a number to see if we know how many.
Tom, are you hearing from any of these students, and what can you share with us?
You know, we have a very extensive alert system that goes out to well over 20,000 people, students, faculty, and staff. They all would have received these messages immediately, cell phone message, text message, and email. So it's a very comprehensive system that notifies everyone, and that's why so many people right away knew what was going on and knew to stay in place.
Are they
That's the
contacting
most
you?
important
Are
thing.
they sharing anything with you?
I don't have any reports from individuals for you.
Now, students are allowed to stay in dorms through the Thanksgiving holidays, or?
They can. It's at the holiday season, at the end of semester, students vacate, but they don't have to. They can stay on campus this week if they wish. Most of them leave. Most of them have already left on the weekend, as David said. So I don't have a number of students here now in the college.
Are the majority of the dorms on Old Campus?
We have 12 residential colleges. Old Campus is primarily residence for freshmen of the college, first-year students who do not live their first year in their residential college. So it is largely a undergraduate residence quadrangle.
How many dorms then are we talking about?
Well, there are 12 residential colleges which house approximately 400 students each.
Oh, in that
Right, and as David said, the focus is the old campus, that quadrangle that is closed off, where primarily freshman students of the college live.
So how buildings been evacuated? When are buildings been evacuated?
The alerts to the students was to stay in place, to everyone on campus.
And the challenge, as Officer Hartman said, these doors don't have peepholes on them, so people should stay inside until they're absolutely sure law enforcement's at the doors.
Right, and as David said, there is a process for that they are using.
Can you spell your name again, sir?
C-O-N-R-O-Y, Tom.
C-O-N-O-R-Y.
ROY.
Okay.
Is there potentially surveillance video of the initial call from the public?
From the public phone, I don't know. It's entirely possible, and if there is, I know we're getting some great assistance from the FBI regarding enhancing different video from on and off the campus.